Previously on Mighty Car Mods, we hit the dyno with our $169 turbo from eBay. Our engine swapped Yaris has spun up an incredible 149.7 kilowatts at the wheels, which is 200 horsepower for our American friends. A result like this deserves some celebration, so we hit the street for our very first pull in our properly boosted Nugget Yaris, and just listen to it.
It moves, man.
Far out, that's so good.
Look at it smell. Yes. That's awesome.
Our $500 Corolla engine from the Wreckers, mated up with a $169 turbo from eBay, has been a total success. But then we heard this.
What's that noise?
Is it really possible that we've killed Yaris Hilton after just 1 minute on the street?
What is that sweet sound? It goes away. It wouldn't go away. It sounds like the aircon compressor, doesn't it?
After some investigation, we worked out we hadn't blown our engine at all. It's just a thrashed air conditioning compressor. This epic crisis has been averted. We're still in the game. Yaris Hilton ain't gonna give up that easily, girlfriend.
So we managed to triple the factory power.
I apologise for that.
That this car came with, which has turned it into a much more exciting thing to drive.
150 kilowatts at the wheels.
150 kilowatts at the wheels, 149.7, 200 horsepower.
149.7.
Awesome in a car this size, this way. We already big blocked it. We took it to the track, and it was, even with the wheels and tyres that we put on it, which was an upgrade over stock, we lost 5 seconds off our track time because of that. Even with just the big block conversion and no turbo, we were smoking tyres and losing grip.
But what we're not losing, Martin, what we're not losing is respect. But we are losing respect. What we're losing is respect because of the way that it looks. So it does need a little bit of street credification.
It does.
And we're going to be doing it on the cheap, people. We've got some stuff from eBay.
What could
There's
go
some
wrong?
new wheels.
It'll definitely fit.
We bought them off Facebook Marketplace, so you know they're going to be excellent. So let's get to work, people. It's going to be... What do you want?
What is going on?
What do you want from us?
Seriously?
What do you want?
Why?
Why? Let us do an intro, please, without being disturbed. Today, we're going to be working on our Toyota. Today, we're going to be working on our Toyota Yaris. We're going to be giving it some street cred on the cheap.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable working in this space.
Martin, we went and got some wheels and tyres the other night. Let's take the people with us, and then let's get to work. So not only are we wearing randomly exactly the same shirt, which actually looks ridiculous, and the same kind of shorts by chance.
These are the shirts you wear when you're not rolling around under the car.
All right, man. It's actually a bit embarrassing. Marty came to pick me up in the Lone Ranger, and I was like, I didn't know we had to synchronise our clothes. Anyway, we're on our way to Mount Colah. Mount Colah is a suburb north of Sydney, a little bit near Barara Waters, where I used to drive a ferry. Illegally, mainly because the guy who drove it was a drunk and I was just meant to open the gate, and they were like, he's drunk, can you drive it? And I drove for the next couple of years. That was my job. Anyway, we're picking up some wheels.
We are.
For Yaris Hilton.
Some cheap second handies, hopefully they fit. I'm pretty sure they used to be on a Mini.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is it?
Of course they are. Minis are awesome.
No, not a cool Mini.
Better than that. Look at that micro. 4-door micro. Does it get uglier than that, Martin? That's the question.
A Maxi.
Oh, it's in a Maxi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a different story then. But anyway, so we found these on Facebook Marketplace. and they're cheap, and we
cheap.
like cheap,
They're
and
cheap,
so
and
we're going to
they're
go sort that out.
And yes, we are. In some people would say you've got cool JDM wheels. Well, guess what? We can't put bigger tires on the JDM wheels that we got because they're really skinny. So
That's
we need
right.
bigger wheels.
Yeah, we did, and so it was either that or we were going to buy some rotors. Is that even a street?
Sure.
Far up, man. Look at that. We're going to get some rotors online, and then we decided not to do that. And these are going to be cheaper anyway, and they're here, and we can pick them up tonight. Obviously, it's been big days working on the car, but now we're going to get our wheels, and happy days. All right, it looks like we've arrived, so we're going to go and hopefully we won't get beaten up and have our money stolen.
Dude, we're in a cloud. Actually, in a mountain cloud.
We finally got some rain, everybody. After all these crazy bushfires, finally some rain arrived, which was good.
We have new wheels. The best wheels for your car, the absolute best wheels for your car are the ones that fit.
That are on Facebook Marketplace.
Well, that's it.
These were $130 each. And you like well, you might think that's like $500 for a set of 4. No, it was $800 for a set of 6. It's only worth $129 now.
All the
And they've
purists
got
are
some-
already upset because we're taking off JDM wheels and putting not quite as JDM wheels on. But as I said, the best wheels for your car are the car.
They
the
were
wheels that fit.
$133 each, people.
That's not actually the issue. So
$133.
we need to have a little chat about this because it's kind of important.
Let's have a quick chat, Martin.
So we have Workmeister 15s. They fit the car really well. These are the widest, fattest tyres we can get to fit these wheels because these
Australia.
wheels are what's
Australia.
known as weak, as in they're very narrow and the offset's not that big. So you can't actually put bigger tyres on this, and we need bigger tyres. So the
We've
next
played
option,
this game with the 240Z, with
We
the
have.
Watanabes. 205 is the widest you can get in a 15 and an RE003.
So we had to jump up to a 17. Now the good thing about 17-inch wheels, heaps of options for tyres.
Yep.
All the sizes under the sun, because every Commodore and every Subaru and everything comes standard with 17s. It also means cheap tyres, which is really cool. So we've got these 17 by, I believe they're by 9, I think. Which is awesome. This one looks like
What
it's
is
been
going on
totally
there?
pumped.
Wow.
But anyway,
We're
it
going from a
balanced up fine.
205 to a 235.
Huge upgrade in rubber. Now we're also, yes, we're going a little bit heavier, but that we triple the power of the car. So we're chasing grip and we're chasing traction.
That's right.
Which is
It's
why
all
we're
about
going
the
bigger
street
tyres.
cred at this point, but of course some track times as well, because we do want to go back and see what kind of times this
Yeah.
car is capable of. But we're also, before we go and put these on, Martin, I believe that you also online bought some lowered springs.
I did.
So maybe the first thing that we do is we put the lowered springs in, then we put the tyres on, and then we see just how much of the car needs to be gently mangalified to actually fit everything in.
Sort by cheapest, just like the car.
Sort by cheapest, buy now. That's the Mighty Car Mods way. I want that on a t-shirt. Sort by cheapest, buy now.
now.
Excellent. So we're going to cut the springs. And
No,
then
we're not.
No, we're not.
We're going to put the
No.
springs in like proper
That's
people,
right. We're putting in professional non-cut springs.
and then we'll cut the car to make
I'll just put
these
that
fit
away.
the car.
And then we're going to cut it up to make it fit. And then, for the OG MCMers out there, we're going to insert some James Bond effect, also from eBay, of
Oh,
course.
look at the colour of them.
Oh, purple.
Made in Germany, dude.
Really?
Bob.
Remember our JOM suspension? Wasn't our JOM suspension made in Germany that
Yeah,
we put on
probably.
our Mark III Golf?
Probably.
If you haven't seen the original Street Cred video that we're ripping off to make this one, make sure you check that out, which is clicking on the thing, which is our Mark III Golf that we took to a Honda meet. Wonder what kind of meet we're going to take this to. We've been working on making this car faster and faster, but what's letting us down on the track is the width of our tyres and some body roll. By going wider, we should see better traction and increased grip on cornering, which is what we're going to need if we want to achieve a sub-minute lap at our local testing track. We got these cheap springs off eBay, and when we lower this Yaris, hopefully we'll get a better centre of gravity for a more planted feel. Now we could use coilovers of course, but we've spent way too much money on this car already. The rear springs literally fall out after undoing a couple of bolts, so that's a super easy swap. With the rears done, we can move on to the front, which takes a little bit longer to swap, but is still relatively easy. With the shock out of the car, now we can compress the spring, then take it off and swap it over for our new ones. Mine currently looks lower.
Yeah, it does, but we know that because this has tension on it and this doesn't, that this will
It'll compress.
sag down a bit more. I don't think these are like crazy low springs. I think they're just sort of a bit of a 200 mil
Whatever
drop,
you
20
can buy
mil drop.
that's cheap.
Yeah,
Off eBay.
whatever the internet gives you permission to drop your car to. No man, it's pretty painless. Our mad new lowered suspension in our mad Yaris.
The wheels look great.
They actually look alright, don't they?
They look really good.
They sort of suit the vibe of the car. Please be low, please be low. Oh, dude.
Oh!
Yes!
Yes!
The wheels are like a little bit too fat. Like they're quite clearly too fat for the car.
No, they're not. They're perfect,
But if
Martin.
we want the grip, that's the price we got to pay.
Dude, they look great.
Very happy with that. I reckon they're going to scrub on everything.
Yeah, that's why we're going to angle grind everything off. But check it out, by the time they've got a little bit of James Bond effect
We're going to
as
James
well.
Bond effect it.
Check this out, a little bit of,
Now it looks like a Mitsubishi Colt.
like, what do you reckon, people? Like, be honest, let's get a good look in here.
Yeah, that's a winner.
Like, does that look excellent or does that look excellent?
Considering those flares came from eBay. Yeah, it tucks nicely, man. I don't think we're going to be able to turn corners in it though.
No, we don't need to, it's a drag car now.
Is it?
No, it's not.
The back fits really well.
I mean, it's still going to come down a little bit. We're going to have to cut so much out of this. I'm so excited. Like, we're going to have to come whoop, 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 all the way over there. Because I reckon if I even try and turn this, the tiniest bit,
Oh God, there's so much car there.
like,
Keep going. Keep going. What have you hit on that side?
nothing. What have you hit on that side?
Nothing. Come the other way?
I've hit nothing yet.
Almost. Well, you've hit nothing. Oh, yeah, you're hitting. You're hitting guard liners. I think the problem is as soon as you go over a bump, it'll take the guard off.
Yeah. Not if we cut
Pretty
it
close
first.
though, man. It's actually not as crazy as I thought it would be.
Yeah. The car's actually looking good. Just, Martin, let's just stand back for a second and appreciate what we've done.
We could actually just like drive around a street and see if it hits anything.
No, because it is going to hit stuff and then it's going to rip it off.
So then we don't have to clearance it ourselves.
No, because it'll rip off stuff that's not meant to be ripped off.
Yeah, right.
Like the guard inside there will grab on something that'll rip, that'll warp the quarter panel, and then we just cut it up, man.
All right, let's cut her up. So we've got a set of flares, you can see they're a different size, like this is meant for a rear-wheel drive car with big arches on the back and big flares and whatever. But we have a front-wheel drive car with a big arch at the front where we need all the clearance, and the arch on the back is not as big. So this big one doesn't actually fit the back properly. The little one fits it perfectly, and the big one gives us just the right shape here once we tuck it in a little bit, and we've got to cut a lot of this away. So I think I'm going to use the big flare on the front. Controversial. My good friend has gone to get us a snack, and he doesn't have a chance to talk me out of it. So we're just going to do it. With fitting these flares is that it might look cool and look like it fits really in the line of the car nicely, have it all down there and it looks slamtacular, but it doesn't actually give us any more clearance for the tyre, which is what this is actually all about. So we really do need to lift it up quite a way because the car's quite low, sort of to there, which buys us more clearance around the front. We'll have to cut out a great deal of the bumper bar and we'll have to cut out most of the back of the guard, but that will give us more clearance. It is going to sit on there, maybe a bit funny, but this is not a perfect solution. This is a cheap eBay flare, which means we don't rub on stuff.
These eBay flares can actually look pretty good, and we've run them on heaps of our project cars in the past. Originally, we kind of got them as a joke and then soon realised they were easy to work with and looked decent for the money. Not only do you get better clearance for running bigger wheels and wider tyres, after cutting up all of your guards of course, but where we live, it's also illegal to have tyres poke out past your guard. Now driving around like this will get your car defected and a hefty fine. And there's been a huge crackdown on this by the police, particularly in the four-wheel drive community, so we don't need to draw any extra attention to ourselves. And yes, I'm saying that after fitting the biggest front-mounted intercooler we could find on the front of a Toyota Yaris. Snacks, Martin?
Yes, Snacks, the best food group ever.
Oh, dude, that's looking the business.
It is, eh? Not bad. Not bad.
Is the big one meant to be on the front like that?
Yes.
Is it?
Well, it's a front-wheel drive car, and on a rear-wheel drive car, the big one will be on the back. It's a front-wheel drive car, so you put the big one on the front.
Installation of these is really easy. Once you've got them in place, you can drill through them, then smash through a rivet. You can go full hectic on the metal parts of the car, but when you're using rivets on plastic like the bumper here, just use half pressure, then cut off the shaft. Otherwise, it'll pull through completely when it compresses. Once you've got them in line, you can use a heat gun to help it mould the car, but we've got a whole episode on how to install these, which you can check out. Our budget Yaris project is almost finished. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're getting prepped for the track with our tow strap and stickers, and there's just one more flare to go on, and then we can hit the street for a proper test drive. Did you know that as well as our small Mighty Car Mod stickers that you've probably seen around, we also do these big 60cm ones? And these ones are made out of UV resistant MAD stickering material and made in Australia, and we'll ship these anywhere in the world. So if you want one, get on it. Feels so disrespectful though to a car with such JDM heritage.
Pulling the guard liners out is the most JDM thing we could ever do.
Pedal to the floor.
So street cred is an elusive thing, my friends, but you don't have to urinate all over your car and paint it with beer. Some mad wheels, some lowered springs, some James Bond effect eBay fender flares, a big block engine conversion and the turbocharging helps, doesn't
And a
it?
tune, and an ECU, and yeah. Well,
And the big front mount.
a lot of stuff's actually happened in this little car. A lot more than I ever thought would happen in this little car.
That's right. We've
But-
removed a bunch of weight as well from the back of it.
We have.
Do you like it, people? What do you think?
I like it.
Are we going to hit the street, Martin, for
Yeah,
a proper drive?
Let's go for a drive, man. Now we've actually got grip. Hopefully it does grip.
It looks really good.
The flares are, we're asking a lot of those flares to try and fit the front of this car, but they do their job.
Well, it's because it's the wrong one. But we can heat gun that.
Yeah, let's heat gun it.
We can heat gun that before we get some fancy shots of it.
Let's go for a drive.
It sounds so good.
Sounds amazing.
We're back in the game, people.
And we're in a lowered car
Back
now.
in the game.
It's lowered.
It's lowered. We got 17s.
No
We got
scrubbing.
lots of tyre.
No scrubbing that I can feel yet.
We got some James Bond effect. We got boosty noises. It sounds incredible.
It does.
And it's actually fast.
Wheel spin. Man, once it comes on boost, it just
Oh, it
goes.
sounds so good, doesn't it?
It's got to be faster.
Of course it's faster.
Like around a
Feels
track.
faster, yeah. Like it's actually got proper push you into the seat now that it didn't have before.
Now it's got grip though, the next point of failure is the clutch.
Yes,
Because
that's
it's
right.
no longer spinning wheels and turning into smoke, it's turning the clutch into smoke. But so far so good. I'm glad we put the beefy Corolla one in.
Modifying a car is always a game of Jenga, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You're just kind of putting, it's like where is the balance? It sounds like a Nissan, doesn't it?
Heaps like a Nissan.
Off its chops.
It really does.
Well, everybody, we turboed a Yaris.
We did.
There it is. It's faster. Thank you for watching. That's the end, isn't it? Are we going to go set a track time?
Yeah, man.
And see
We
if we
have
can
to.
see how we go against the original track time of the Yaris.
This is absolute science now. Like stock car, big block conversion, tires, turbo. Like we've gone there, man. We've got
Yes.
to find out what's possible now.
Yeah, that's true. So now all we got to do is hit the track, go get a final time.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that's fast.
Second gear pull. Loves it.
As it should be. 150 kilowatts at the wheels.
Yep.
How much does this car weigh? 1100 or something?
No, yeah, maybe a ton.
I mean, that's crazy.
And once it comes on, yeah, it's good. Like there. It's only got,
Oh, yes.
it's only got 10 pounds of boost.